It's here, the new spacesuits for the NASA SpaceX launch. The spacesuits developed for Crew Dragon astronauts differ significantly from the NASA suits that have been in use for years. Hello and welcome back to TechSphere, guys. Today, we are going to talk about NASA's new spacesuits designed for Crew Dragon, ready to wear on NASA's SpaceX launch. In a video released Monday, SpaceX gave an inside look at the spacesuit design, providing some insight into one of the most visible aspects of the Crew Dragon mission. The spacesuits have symbiotic interactions with the seats of the Crew Dragon spacecraft and have a sleek, streamlined form. They are connected by an umbilical that connects the astronauts from everything from communications to breathing air. SpaceX prioritizes ease of use for the suits, according to Chris Trieg, manager of spacesuits and crew equipment. Something the crew just has to literally plug in when they sit down, and then the suit kind of takes care of itself from there. The video was released just in time for the Crew Dragon Demo 2 mission to return. NASA astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley are scheduled to return to Earth on August 1st, departing from the International Space Station and splashing down in the Atlantic. SpaceX made history with its first ever piloted launch, successfully transporting NASA astronauts Robert Behnken and Douglas Hurley to the International Space Station aboard its Falcon 9 powered Crew Dragon spacecraft, and becoming the first commercial business to fly humans to space. The spacesuits used by both astronauts played a significant role in the trip, and SpaceX has now published a video detailing their design and manufacturing. SpaceX spacesuits and Crew Dragon equipment manager Chris Trieg explains in a 2-minute video produced by the company that the suit's main goal was to make it simple to use and take care of itself after you're sitting in the capsule and hooked into the chair. The suit is really one part of the bigger Dragon system. It's really part of the vehicle, so we think of it as a suit seat system. The seat that the crew is in and the suit are in a lot of ways working together. I think one of the things that's cool about the suit is it's not just one big piece of hardware. It's not just a suit, it's a very personal thing, he added. It's Bob's suit, it's Doug's suit, and so seeing the two of them in their suits, using it in flight, will be just a really amazing thing. Crew Dragon system has touchscreens and physical manual control choices, as well as built-in fault tolerance. The touchscreens have been fine-tuned to work reliably with or without the SpaceX suit gloves. Hundreds of hours of training and collaborative simulations with the crew in both suited and non-suited conditions have been used to properly test the control system, demonstrating full operation over the entire predicted operating range of Crew Dragon. While the spacecraft will dock and undock with the space station autonomously, the crew aboard will have the option to assume manual control if necessary. The spacesuit is designed to be functional, lightweight, and provide protection from potential depressurization for each person aboard Crew Dragon. Life support systems, including air and power connections, are connected to the suit's thigh via a single connection point. The helmet is made to order using 3D printing technology and has integrated valves, visor retraction and locking mechanisms, and microphones built into the structure. Touchscreen-compatible gloves, a flame-resistant outer layer, and pressurization with a controlled environment for the crew in unexpected conditions, such as cabin depressurization, are all included in the custom-tailored suits. During flight, the suit will also provide communications and cooling systems to the astronaut. The astronaut spacesuits for the Crew Dragon mission have gotten a lot of attention. What distinguishes them from other astronaut outfits over the years? Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken wore futuristic flight suits on Saturday's successful launch, which are a far cry from the bulky orange shuttle flight suits the astronauts wore when they were last launched from Florida's Kennedy Space Center. However, their principal function remains the same, to protect the crew members against depressurization, which occurs when the capsule loses air. The suits also ensure that astronauts have enough oxygen and maintain a comfortable temperature. A single umbilical cable in the seat hooks into the suit and provides a communications link and breathable air. The Starman suits, as they are known, are made entirely of one piece and are tailored to the astronaut. Jose Fernandez, a costume designer who worked on Captain America: Civil War and Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, created their style. Boeing's CST-100 Starliner spaceship has a contract with NASA to transport humans to the International Space Station. It has designed a pressure suit to keep astronauts safe during critical launch and re-entry phases. The Boeing Blue suits are around 40% lighter and more flexible than previous generations of spacesuits worn by American astronauts. To keep astronauts cool, they have many inside layers. Touchscreen-sensitive gloves are also included in the outfits, allowing astronauts to use tablets in space. The soft hood-like helmet has a wide polycarbonate visor to improve peripheral vision for Starliner passengers on their journey to and from space. Astronauts will be able to change from sitting to standing more easily thanks to zips in the torso area. NASA released a close-up of 2 next-generation suits for the agency's Artemis program in October 2019. NASA's Orion spacecraft will be used to return men to the moon by 2024 as part of this mission. The Orion Crew Survival System is one of the suits, and it's similar to the suits used by SpaceX and Boeing. It's similar to the pumpkin suits worn by space shuttle astronauts, although it's far lighter. The Exploration Extravehicle Mobility Unit suit, on the other hand, is designed to be worn on the moon's surface. It's a lot bigger than the pressure suits that astronauts wear inside spaceships. This is due to the fact that it must protect the wearer from temperature fluctuations outside of the spacecraft walls. It's also intended to give some protection from micrometeorites and other small space debris. It's similar in these ways to the suits that were previously used for spacewalking at the International Space Station, or ISS. At the International Space Station, 2 suits are utilized for spacewalking. The Russian Orlan type, which was introduced in December 1977, is one of them. The Orlan spacesuit is a one-piece design. The spacewalker can crawl into the backpack by opening it like a refrigerator door. The other suit used in the space station is NASA's Extravehicular Mobility Suit, or EMU, which was introduced in 1981. Unlike the Orlan, the EMU is made up of 2 halves, a bottom half and a top half. Outside in the vacuum of space, the semi-rigid suit provides roughly 8.5 hours of life support for its occupant. Both suits are worn by astronauts on their way to the International Space Station. The EMU was also the name of the suit used by Apollo astronauts on the moon. However, it differed from the present version. It was the culmination of years of work. Since the first spacewalk by the late cosmonaut Alexei Leonov in March 1965, spacesuits have come a long way. After stepping out into the vacuum, Leonov's suit inflated, allowing his hands to emerge from his gloves. He was only able to get back inside the spacecraft by draining air out of his suit, which put him at risk of getting the bends. According to sources, NASA has already spent $420 million on the research and development of moon spacesuits, none of which have proven to be useful. SpaceX claims that building the Dragon and Falcon together is less expensive. NASA's Artemis mission would carry a man and the first woman to the moon's surface using Boeing's Spacesuit Launch System, or SLS, rocket. According to sources, NASA has already spent $420 million on the study and moon spacesuits, none of which have been proven to be viable. According to SpaceX, building the Dragon and Falcon together saves money. NASA's Artemis mission would employ Boeing's Space Launch System, or SLS, rocket to send a man and the first woman to the moon's surface. Aside from the skyrocketing costs, the Inspector General claims that delays due to funding deficiencies, COVID-19 implications, and technological issues have ruled out the possibility of the spacesuits being completed on time. According to the article, the spacesuits will not be ready for the flight until April 2025 at the earliest. The spacesuits were supposed to be ready by March 2023, according to NASA. According to Futurism, Musk also stated that long-term outposts on the Moon and Mars are essential. As part of the Artemis mission, NASA is already working on that long-term goal. Resources flowing in from SpaceX's NASA contract, Musk argues, will make it much easier to realize. NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine and spacesuit engineers unveiled 2 next-generation spacesuits for the agency's Artemis program, which seeks to land the first woman and next man on the moon by 2024. We are going to the moon by 2024, and we want it to be sustainable. At the event, NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine stated that the moon will be used as a testing field to even beyond destinations. Ultimately, the goal is this: we're going to Mars, Bridenstine said. And in order to go to Mars, we need to use the moon as a proving ground. To achieve these lofty goals, NASA recognizes the need to modernize its spacesuits so that people of all shapes, sizes, and genders can go to and explore the moon, Mars, and beyond. Christine is wearing a spacesuit that will fit all of our astronauts when we go to the moon, Bridenstine said, monitoring Christine Davis, a NASA Johnson Space Center spacesuit engineer who was wearing one of the 2 prototype suits on stage at the ceremony. So what is your take on this matter? Tell us in the comments. If you want to see our upcoming videos, ring the bell icon and don't forget to like our video as well. That's all from my side. Thanks for watching.